So I started writing songs back in I think September or October of 2012 for a specific album of sorts. I didn't really have anything to record them with. I had no means of putting them on a CD or any hint of any means of doing that. I was just writing songs for the heck of it, really. And what the entire premise behind it was my journey through about December of 2011 all the way up through December of 2012. And so I spent the majority of that year just very angry, very bitter over a certain situation, and just got really low, really depressed, even suicidal at one point. But more or less I wanted to focus on where God had brought me instead of focusing on where I had been, but where God had delivered me and where God had given me grace. And so when I started writing, it was just kind of off the top of my head kind of stuff. But come a few months later, I started really writing with a purpose, and it really started coming together, and it just sat there and sat there and sat there. And so one day a guy approached me and said he had recording equipment, and he would record these songs for me. And so I started with that, and it's what it's becoming now. I'm now releasing a 6-song CD, and so really the basis behind each story, or each song has its own story. I'll just go through each of them real quick, but Better Off Forgotten is the title of the album, and back in November I went through a rough breakup, and one of my friends wrote that song. He wrote the words and I put the music to it, and so I've carried it with me for quite some time, for almost 2.5 years now, and it's really meant a lot. And basically the message of the song is, pain, it comes, it goes, love and loss are paths well trodden, but you got to remember there are better things out there. There are things that are better off forgotten, and you can move on and be optimistic about life. And the next song on the CD is Beauty and the Beast, and that was kind of a fun song I was just messing around with one day, and it's about a boy and this girl who get together, and the boy realizes he's the beast of the relationship, and of course the girl is the beauty. And it just describes their story and how the guy messes up, but he's hard to love, he's hard to like, but he'll do better if he can get another try. And so that one's a lot of fun to play. That one's a lot of fun because it has personal meaning to me as well, but has variety to it. Stronger is the next song. That really is the whole entire compass of this album, the whole entire focal point. And it just explains where I've been, how I underestimated how low I could get, but also that God is in the process of making me stronger. He hasn't given up on me. He's in the process of making me into a man. As painful as it can be sometimes, he's really working on me. The next one is Love Has Come, or Love Has Covered Us, and that was kind of on the spur of a moment writing. It was a couple weeks ago I started working on it, and once again it just goes over the whole God is making us stronger, but when we sin, when we fall, when we mess up, we don't need to focus on our mistakes, but focus that God's love for us, God on the cross, God sending His Son to die for us has covered our sins. Love has covered us, so you don't need to focus on your mistakes. And then the Ocean Between, I also wrote very recently, and this one is more of, instead of focusing on where God has brought me, this one really delves deep into the pain that I was in. It fleshes out all of that anger and the hatred and just the disbelief in God that I was going through. One of the lines is, lately I've been a fool for believing in you. And that really just portrays where I had gone and how low I had let myself get. But at the end, I see Jesus, and I see Him coming, and I see the end of the pain. So not only does it focus on the pain, but it focuses on deliverance as well. But the last one is one I'm still in the process of working on, but it's called I'm Lost in You, and it's kind of it's a more fun song. It's upbeat, but it still has a lot of truth in it. We run away, run away, run away, but still God is faithful to us, and He forgives us, He heals us, and we find ourselves lost in Him. And so, but yeah, that's the story of the CD. It's the story of why I do the things I do and why I am the way I am. What I've really learned is everybody has a story. There's always a story behind the way people are, the way they are. And you can't ever make a difference until you get to the nitty-gritty parts. Even that means you have to get dirty sometimes. And this CD definitely digs into the dirty details of where I've been, but where God has brought me and where He is constantly bringing me to. So I definitely thank you all for your support and your love. And November 13th, 2013 is when it comes out. iTunes, Spotify. Look out for it.